Ahem. Yo, what is going on, guys? Alex7 here. Welcome back to another test drive unlimited Solar Crown video. Yeah, I can't do this. I mean, this video is one of my most fully scripted videos because there is a ton of information in this video, so bear with me. Anyway, most of you watch my channel because of how deeply I research things, and I won't let that change, which is why today we're going to be talking about Hong Kong Island TDU SC's map in extreme detail. Now, do you know that this is based off facts, but also using those facts to make educated guesses and speculation since the game isn't out yet. So now that I've gotten that disclaimer for the video out of the way that some of you guys need, let's get straight on into the video. Now, if you aren't aware, this past Wednesday we got some new TDU SC info, along with an unfortunate delay into 2023 and the removal of last gen systems for release, but that isn't a bad thing. We were also shown the concept images of the Streets and Sharps HQ, and we were informed of a closed beta happening in the near future. But the most important thing, and I cannot stress this enough, is the reveal of the total amount of drivable road length, which is 550 kilometers. Now, I'm going to break this video down into a couple of sections. Initial doubts that some of you guys have with previous TDU maps aren't what you thought. Why 550 kilometers is so important. My concept map. The next one is Hong Kong Island and Google Earth. I'm going to show you guys around that. And then the TDU SC versus the competition. So Need for Speed 2022, Forza Horizon 5, The Crew 2, etc. And to sum it all up, the best open world racer map at the end of the video. Now, I'll break this video into time codes, so if you choose to watch a certain part, then you can. And there's going to be a ton of math, so to stay true to my aerospace lifestyle, you already know, man. Anyhow, let's go. So, initial doubts. Quite a few people are not big fans of KT choosing Hong Kong Island, with some of their reasons being: A, the map is too small, it's bigger than Forza Horizon 4 but smaller than Forza Horizon 5. B, TDU Oahu had 1600 plus kilometers of road. C, TDU 2 had 3000 plus combined road. D, you can't cruise. And E, race around the island is too short. And can't forget about F, the map is all city. We're gonna go through all of those, so let's tackle each of these issues. For the map being too small, it is small, yes, but isn't too small. What we are forgetting is that Hong Kong Island has density. Forza Horizon 5 at 107 kilometers squared of area compared to Hong Kong Island's 78.59 is more than meets the eye. Now, we know TDU SC is at 1:1 scale, so the in-game map will also be pretty much the same, give or take, in real life. Now, in real life, there are 449 kilometers of asphalt road on Hong Kong Island, but how much is there in Forza Horizon 5? Well, let's do the math because no one has yet. So first, I got my TDU SC Porsche advertisement vehicle and went to the airstrip. Oh wait, hold on. Something on this livery isn't right. It is a bit old. Anyway, my goal here is to drive at a constant speed and time myself driving through a certain piece of road to be able to calculate for distance, as distance is equal to speed times time. My first idea of using this drag strip as a place to record was stupid, so I found an easier strip of road here and time recorded myself 5 times so I can find an average, which was 5.194 seconds. Now, for the equation, we need to have like units. So since we're working with kilometers and the speed is kilometers per hour, I need to convert the seconds to hours. Now, there's 3,600 seconds in an hour, so I divide 5.194 by 3,600, which gives me 0.001442 hours. I hope I'm not losing you. Now, I just need to multiply that by our average speed of 100 kilometers per hour, and we have our answer, which is 0.144 kilometers. Now, with this info, I can put an image of Forza Horizon 5's map into a program and trace all of the asphalt roads. As you guys can see, is what I'm doing here. The total road network I got here was 231 kilometers of asphalt roads, which Hong Kong Island has double of pretty much. Not to mention, most likely, more off-roading as well. Density wise, even against Oahu's whopping 1,545 kilometers squared, the TDU 1's map had a 1.11 kilometers of roads per kilometer squared, while Hong Kong Island would have 7 kilometers per kilometer squared of road. And against Forza Horizon 5, you ask, 2.15 per kilometer squared of road. So TDU SC will roughly be 6 times denser than Oahu and just under 3 times denser than Forza Horizon 5. Next, Oahu's road. I've seen a lot of people bringing up that TDU 1 had 1600 kilometers of driving road, which I immediately did not believe, simply because it feels nowhere close to that. Shout out to Sento Isuzu from the TDU SC Discord, as he calculated that TDU 1 has 1712 kilometers of road. Nice. Yes, until you realize that the reason the number is so inflated is because Oahu has a ton of overlapped roads and roads where they split, as you guys can see on the screen right now. And these count as 2 separate roads. I found Ibiza has roughly 450 kilometers of drivable asphalt roads with an area of 571.6 kilometers squared. And a road density of, get this, how low it is, 0.78 per kilometer squared, which, yes, Hong Kong Island is much more than 7 times the density of Ibiza. With that being said, you aren't losing any driving road from TD2's Ibiza to Hong Kong Island, but what you are getting is a much more detailed map with an actual city, a lot more coastal roads, a lot more tunnels, and so much more. Now, because I found that Ibiza has roughly 450 kilometers of asphalt roads and probably another 100 kilometers in a generous roundup of off-roading roads, I suspect that the idea that T2 had 3,000 kilometers of road is very hard to believe. While we are on this point, I might as well also add that as much as there was 1,600 kilometers of road in TDU1, you never really often drove on all 1,600 kilometers. The island was large, but at the same time it was empty, and nor was it accurate at all. A key example is the main highway that crosses from west to east on Ibiza. The same can also be said about Honolulu. As for cruising, well, as I said prior, there's a lot more road to drive on around the island compared to all of the Horizons, Need for Speed, and even TDU2's Ibiza. The only map you are really gaining driving roads on is Oahu, which again, even then the number is inflated. Now, for the island being too short to race around the island, well, that isn't entirely true. In TDU1 and TDU2, there was a slip of road that was artificially made on Oahu to actually make the journey around the island longer. The same can be done in TDU SC, which would increase the distance of the race for longer while also increasing the time by a larger factor since road isn't as straight prior. It is worth noting for Forza Horizon 5's race around the map, it is 54 kilometers long, which is less than 3 kilometers longer than TDUC's potential race around the island map, but you can get to an average speed of nearly 300 kilometers an hour for the entire race, which means you can complete the race in 11 minutes and 40 seconds. This is due to the roads being very wide in Forza Horizon 5. You can turn at very high rated speeds, and I highly doubt we'll see roads as wide in Forza Horizon 5 as we will in TDU SC. But even assuming the average speed of 200 or 250 kilometers per hour, the race would take longer than 15 minutes to complete at minimum, assuming KT don't add any extra detours. But I predict we'll see something around the lines of 20 to 30 minutes. So despite Forza Horizon 5 having a larger map and a longer race length around the island, Hong Kong Island beats it in both aspects, especially on the view. You'll be driving through such a large variety of road density, cities, coastal roads, and so much more you guys already know. As for the argument about the map being all city, well, that isn't true either. If you count the entire northern city, it has an area of 10.11 kilometers squared, which is just 12% of the entire area. If it's just the main city of the northern part, the densest area of Hong Kong Island, it only covers an area of 6.2 kilometers squared, only a mere 7.8% of the entire map. But maybe you want to refer to the road network on Hong Kong Island and assume since it's dense, all of the road is located in the city. Let's take a look at that. This is actually a lot easier to find out than before. Using this image of the island's road network, I can calculate how many pixels of the map are present in total. And then I can find out how many pixels are in a cut section of the most densest city area of Hong Kong Island. The ratio between these two will give me the percentage of roads, and as you can see, there's a total of 22,029 pixels of road network in total. If we select the main, most dense part of the city, we have 4,442 pixels, which means that roughly 20% of the island's road network is in this area. And if we do the largest city, you can see that at 6,983 pixels, it takes up roughly 31% of the road network, which means that 70% of the roads you'll find on Hong Kong Island are not found in the main city, which in measurement of units is 314 kilometers out of the 449 asphalt roads. So yeah, that's still quite a big statement. I also wanted to see what that was like compared to TD1's Honolulu city. And by the way, shout out to Sento Isuzu for sending me a transparent background road network of Oahu. But anyway, using the same method, if you look at the section of blue roads, that road network takes up 13% of the island's total road network. But if you include the blue and green highlighted roads, it takes up 28% of the island's road network. Comparing that to the 30% of what Hong Kong Island's main city area could take up in the total road network, we aren't really losing much from Oahu to Hong Kong Island. It really is just the size of the island that changes, nothing else. Now on to the next topic. 550 kilometers, that is the total road length we'll see in Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. This is the most important information we have gotten about the game so far, and I'm going to tell you why. According to the official government of Hong Kong Island's total road network length is 449 kilometers, up from the last record of 442, as they have now completed the central Wan Chai bypass tunnel back in February 2019. Another thing which I'm sure KT will add into the game. Quick note, according to Hawaii's official transportation document posted around the same time as TD2's release, there are 2,642.54 kilometers of road in Oahu, which, if we use this statistic on TD1's 1,712 kilometers of asphalt road, Eden Games were actually 64% accurate on the roads, which is a massive difference. Eden Games didn't make Honolulu accurate at all, as you guys can see, and this is a lot denser in real life, and I'm sure a similar story is present on the island of Ibiza. As I said, in the middle of the island is a key example. The fact we have 550 kilometers of road on Hong Kong Island, even if we assume there's 150 kilometers of artificial off-road roads created, KT would have 400 kilometers of asphalt roads, thus meaning they would be at a minimum 88% of the roads recreated. However, using Google Earth, I made a quick off-road road network within Hong Kong Island at 100 kilometers, and even then it fills up the island quite a lot, so I wouldn't even be surprised if KT knocked 90% or even 95% or maybe even near 100% accuracy with the road network found on Hong Kong Island, which is insanity. We never had such a more accurate recreation of a map in the TDU series, and Hong Kong Island is a perfect map to do that. To add, Hong Kong Island's 550 kilometers total road length can literally fill Ibiza and more with the coast road as seen in the picture on the screen. In fact, an even better stat is if you were to put the 550 kilometers of road on Ibiza, it would actually make the map more dense than it would in TDU 2. Yep, facts, you gotta love them. I should also remind you that for the first time in the TDU game, there are actually more roads than there are in real life, with TDC's map having 122% more roads than real life. Moving on, if you're on my channel recently, you would know I created a concept map for TDU SC, but I created the concept map assuming KT would recreate about 70 to 80% of the roads, not 90% or more in theory. That's the difference of having a 300 kilometer of road network at 70% and a 400 kilometer road network at 90%. 100 kilometers of extra driving roads is actually quite amazing. With that being said, it's very safe to say the map will be a lot more dense and accurate than the concept map I've recreated along with the off-road routes that I have. I'm not going to go too in depth as I already have a video covering my concept map, so if you want to check that out after the video, check the link in the description. Also, while you're at it, leave a like on the video too. So let's move to the big boy, the Hong Kong Island map. Since we know KT seems to be aiming for a very accurate recreation of Hong Kong Island, I'm going to switch between Google Earth and a map to really give you a vibe for this map. Taking a look at the map though, you can see that the city is quite dense, and due to the thickness of some of these lines, you can barely even get the scope of how dense the city area actually is. To add, where you see these dotted lines, they are walking paths, which I think is a very likely thing for KT to turn into off-road routes. I'll show you where those are when we switch to Google Earth. A lot of the roads don't go straight for long either, which personally I'm a fan of that, but don't get it twisted. There are definitely a lot of places along the island where you can get your car to top speed and even hold it for quite a while, as evident in my Assetto Corsa Hong Kong Island map mod video. Let's switch to Google Earth now though, as the good thing about Hong Kong Island is that it has something for everyone. You get that proper, very dense city in Hong Kong Island, and hey, if you don't like that, then that's fine, as the entire southern portion of Hong Kong Island is what you'd see along the lines of Oahu. There are coastal roads, a mini city, off-road routes, incredible quiet areas, and so much more. Here you can see where the walk trails are located, and I expect KT to make some, if not a majority of these off-road routes. As for some of the other roads, as you can see, there are actually a lot more roads in Google Maps, as some of these roads are not allowed to drive on in real life, as Hong Kong had an issue with people parking and blocking these routes, but they're still classified as roads regardless, and I'm sure in TDU SC we'll be able to drive on them, especially since we know that there's 550 kilometers of road in TDU SC, 100 more than real life. So it's not just the Tai Tam Tuk Reservoir that you can see, there are other dams located on the island as well. And a lot of these roads are also hidden by trees, but I'm sure you can only imagine what the game would look like as you see the sunset or sunrise light rays pass through the trees and each leaf around. Of course, you also have Victoria Peak, which will give you an incredible view of the city, and one way to describe that is using this drone shot here, which also happens to be the thumbnail of this video. I'll link this shot in the description below. Shout out to Galexia for that one. Now let's talk competition. Currently, and hopefully by the time TDU SC releases in 2023, the games we'll have will be Forza Horizon 5, Need for Speed 2022, and The Crew 2. Although it's not far-fetched to see a Crew 3 announcement in 2023. Personally, I don't think Forza Horizon 5's map should even be a discussion here, as it's missing quite a few things, and here are just some of the issues, and not hate, it's just facts. 1. No traffic lights. 2. No actual city. 3. Lanes are too wide. 4. Vehicles not losing speed when off-roading should apply realistically, as it creates the smaller map effect. And 5. Corners aren't realistic. You can travel at a very high rate of speed through corners, such as 300 kilometers an hour. With all these issues being said, I don't think Forza Horizon 5 should be in any question. It's going to be hard to compare the Need for Speed 2022 leak, but I was able to scale all of the maps, including my concept map, against all other maps. As you can see, Hong Kong Island is a lot denser than all of the other islands, and I think it might be safe to say it has the longest road network out of all other games, excluding The Crew 2 of course. The Crew 2 is large, but it too has quite a lot of flaws, especially as it feels empty at many parts through the map. I think a lot of us found the Crew 1's map to be better as well. Need for Speed is probably the closest thing to TDU SC's map, but I think it's fair to say we'll be seeing realistic physics while Need for Speed takes the arcade space. It's worth noting a lot of the things found on Hong Kong Island are actually a first in any open world racing game. The central Wan Chai bypass tunnel would actually be the longest tunnel ever in an open world racing game at over 4 kilometers long. But if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. Again, it's kind of hard to compare maps with some of these games not being released yet, but I will make a video when every one of these games are out for certain. Regardless, I think TDU SC will have the most anticipated map in an open world racing scene for quite a while, despite being the size that it is. I mean, size doesn't matter. I'm sure some of you have heard a woman say that to you, but seriously, the map size doesn't mean anything. But to sum up everything as a whole, KT really have the chance to make one of the best open world maps in the racing game scene ever, as there are a lot of features within Hong Kong Island that can prove that so. There are more roads found on TDU SC's Hong Kong Island than there are found on TD2's Ibiza, despite the map being larger. From coastal roads, tunnels, cities, forest areas, off-road routes, and packing the island with a lot of TDU features such as dealerships, races, clothing stores, missions, nightclubs, rooftops, casinos, and hopefully things like the plastic surgeon, hairstylist, houses, real estate office, and so much more. 550 kilometers of road is already more than Need for Speed Heat, Forza Horizon 5, and every Horizon previously, and possibly and most likely Need for Speed 2022 as well. I'm really excited to see what KT have done in regards to recreating Hong Kong Island, and one thing is for certain, KT don't miss when it comes to recreating things in game. The WRC stages are just a key example of that. Again, if you just look past the size, you'll find that the map is incredible, and even if you choose not to, I'm sure seeing actual gameplay of the map will. And if that still doesn't, you might need to slightly touch grass, because the map size shouldn't be that big of an issue. It makes you look past every other benefit of a smaller map. But seriously, the map is a lot more telling than you think. Big maps are nice, don't get me wrong, but they come with a price, and I'd personally love a more dense and alive map than a scarce and dead one. And that's all I gotta say in this video, guys. If you did enjoy and learn some mathematics, leave a like and subscribe, man. You already know what it is. I'm Alex7, and I'm out, guys. Peace.